Big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score.
Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's the Chiefs in control of the football as we take you back to the action in the third quarter. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. They do go for it. It's Mahomes looking for into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarkowski Tart. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. If they're going to try to complete this comeback, they need more runs like that from him because until that point, he's been virtually shut down.
And based on where they are right now in this game, you would expect the ball to be in the air. But his ability to break off those types of runs, you can get big chunk plays on the ground as well, and he just provided one.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw is Garoppolo. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now here comes Kansas City. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes looking downfield for Kelsey. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Now Gold for the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over. And
that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 17, Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. Well, we said after the turnover on downs, that's almost guaranteed points the other way. But I guess they weren't listening to the broadcast because they did not cash in for any good job to step up defensively.
We get that a lot, don't we? Where we hear a lot of people say they just don't listen to the broadcast. They feel like it works out better for them. It certainly did for this defense, didn't it? They didn't listen. They responded and shut them down.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. He's looking sharp here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. Came out, springing his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taking off and running really well in the third quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come, but some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Terrell Suggs.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And Sanders has got it complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Here we go. Hey, yo, 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 yo.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now they had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And they got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Coleman on the draw. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Black 80! 54. Black 54. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
From the 39, Garoppolo throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And that's complete to Sanders. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there, Mahomes to Watkins, and even 50 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes going for it all. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely crazy about that play call there. I mean, it's only a one-score game, so is it really time to go bombs away and try and make a big play? I think you can take some underneath stuff and still move it downfield.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And it's taken in at the 9. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Not that time for Watkins. And now it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. He sets to fire deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Check 53.
On 1st down, Garoppolo looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 28 yards. And the 49ers have retaken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Or are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Damian Williams and the Chiefs ready to begin their next drive. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to try and run for it. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. They didn't want the tie. They roll the dice and they take the lead.
That felt like a tone setter, didn't it? Forget tying the ball game and feeling like we're just hanging with you. We're going to go ahead and push it to a one-point lead, and that just changes the complexion of the whole game.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. This one complete to Coleman. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. It's caught by Coleman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both, because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. We've had some wild Super Bowl finishes recently. 49 in Arizona, 51 in Houston, now this one. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down by 2. A little over a minute to go. A field goal wins the Super Bowl, but work to do here on 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go, D.
Now Williams. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Off the draw, here's Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This undoubtedly the biggest kick of his life. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. That might just have been the most pressure-filled kick in Super Bowl history, but he stepped up, knocked it through just like it was a Tuesday practice in July.
And if it's not the most pressure-filled, it's certainly right among them. A title on the line, and he comes through. Nails.
And the 49er hands team does its job. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.
Big numbers.